Just wanted to get the botanical definition of a meristem.
Your butt's a meristem.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Get ready to shoot off with this episode of the Wild Edible World podcast.
Michael
I'm your rootin' tootin' host, Michael.
is out of control. And I'm Steve. We are frying up a good time here.
Hell yeah, brother.
Shoot.
We're shooting off here, man. So we're going to celebrate some shoots on this episode. Moment of a little show transparency. We're trying to bank a little content here. So we're going to talk about shoots. We're going to generalize and just kind of make a podcast listicle on all the shoots that we love to eat during the season. I typically call the months between like April and June shoot season.
Shoot season it is. Seasonal shoots.
Yeah, because there's so much stuff that's a springtime growth. The plants are coming awake. They're shooting out their stems, exhibiting what is called maristematic growth. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. Steve, what shoots are you most familiar with, right? So what's the first thing that you think of whenever I say shoot vegetable?
Asparagus.
Asparagus, right.
Yeah.
I've never harvested wild asparagus. Have you?
Yes, I have.
See, it's one of the few most popular ingredients.
Yeah.
I've never touched it.
Dang, man.
It's pretty good, right?
Free food.
Yeah. Free food. Yeah,
We say about all of our stuff.
It's actually the first. I didn't know that.
Whoa,
free food, no way.
Science.
So is it better than regular asparagus?
I don't think it's better than regular asparagus, but I think it's very good.
Great.
I think it's comparable,
Yeah.
but it doesn't kick the shit out of regular asparagus.
Okay.
But it's very good.
Okay. So I think asparagus is like a really good botanical example for what we mean when we say meristem or a meristematic growth. So, a meristem, botanically, is a region in a plant where undifferentiated cells divide and allow for different growth and development. So they're essentially the plant version of human stem cells. They're extremely powerful, fast-growing cells that are allowed to basically become anything the plant needs and is like pre-photosynthetic. The cells themselves aren't photosynthetic, and they have smaller cell walls and everything. So they're fresh, succulent, full of water, very easy for us to digest. There's a lot of things right there that are like why we like to eat them. Meristems are essential for plant growth. They enable them to increase in plant length and produce new organs like leaves and flowers. So again, they're like the plant version of stem cells. Stem cells allow us to produce new organs, produce new things, and they do the same thing for plants too. So there's a couple different types of meristems. For the most part, we are talking about apical, APICAL meristems. So those are referring to everything that's above the ground. So there's all sorts of meristematic growth that can happen underneath the ground in a variety of ways with a variety of different plants. So just a heads up, whenever I say shoots or meristems, I'm talking about above ground.
Leave that other stuff alone.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that. So my personal favorite meristem to eat is probably going to be sochan. So sochan is one of the few plants that we have extensive written history, a cultural written history from Cherokee people about. It is eaten extensively throughout the entire year. We mentioned it shortly on one of our previous episode on wood sorrel.
Yeah, we did.
The other half of the episode, we kind of nutshelled a bunch of different stuff. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was the sochan and how it can give food all year round. So its meristem is one of my most enjoyed things. So I have a couple things in front of me right here. So the meristem on the sochan or any other plant is going to be the stuff that's just erupting out of the ground. And typically it comes in the form of still curled up leaves, so they're still like tightly bundled in a wrap. So bamboo shoots, right? If you think about what a bamboo shoot looks like, that's exactly the kind of look you're going to go for when you harvest another very commonly well-known spring shoot edible hostas.
Mm.
Now, I have not personally collected or eaten hostas.
Neither have I.
They don't seem particularly too desirable, although I do always mention in all my classes that where we encounter the hosta is that it's very popularly eaten in Japan. They call it sansai, S-A-N-S-A-I, which means little vegetable. So there's a whole culture of sansai over there, and hosta is a huge part of that. The reason I have not participated in any sort of American hostas is because they're mostly just grown aesthetically.
Yeah.
So they're not grown for taste. They're not grown for flavor or anything like that. It's just beauty and physical looks, and so that can often be like acrid or not really tasting good, or the best example of that plant, right? Plus, people are often going to be more frequently going to be treating those beds or something like that for pests. So I almost always stray away from any sort of urban beds of hosta. But it's a really easy and good example to learn from, right?
Yeah. Just
because it's out there and we can see it and it's edible doesn't mean we need to put it in our mouth. We can just learn from it.
Yeah.
What else? So a less common one that I think people don't know that much about is going to be smooth sumac. Smooth and staghorn sumac. Sorry, I just had a stroke. Barely made it through that one.
I thought you were just building up. Honestly, I was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be good."
Choking on that word. Staghorn sumac. So both of the primary sumacs that we have here in northern Illinois, at least where we are located, but also across eastern North America, produces edible shoots. This is one that most people don't really know about, haven't really tried. I've eaten it once. They're fine. They're fun. They do exhibit this milky latex. I did blanch them beforehand just because that's what I'm most comfortable with doing with anything.
Latexy things?
Yeah, that latexy things, exactly. Speaking of, my probably number 2 favorite shoot vegetable, geez, I don't know. The more I think about it, it might be a number 1. I said sochang was my number 1, but milkweed. So we did a whole episode on milkweed, and that is absolutely one of my very favorite vegetables. Not only is it the most obviously regenerative and reciprocal, so whenever we take the stem, it multiplies and creates 2 more stems, providing younger food later on in the season for more caterpillars. It's also just like the tastiest vegetable out there, honestly. It's so
incredible.
Good. Yeah, it's really, 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 really awesome.
Well, we got a couple more right in front of us here.
Oh, nailed it.
We have the false Solomon seal shoot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we'll be trying a new one today. Neither one of us have tried and these are actually standard Solomon seal. These are not the false Solomon seal. They're the full Solomon seal.
The whole seal.
The whole seal, yeah.
Wow.
Tip to tail. The plant, not the animal.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have Solomon seal. This is an interesting plant because most of the above ground parts are not throughout the rest of the year not regarded as edible. I actually just had somebody questioning me. They sent me a message a couple days ago, and it's one of the few times where I have not replied because I just keep meaning to thoroughly check any resources that I have. But they get mixed responses or results whenever they try to figure out if all of the above ground parts of the plant are edible for Solomon seal, or if it's just the unwrapped shoot. And I am willing to bet that it is. Well, we know for sure that the shoot is edible. And I believe that if there's any debate on later mature above ground parts of the plant, I would err to not consume them.
Yeah, definitely err on the side of caution.
Yeah, err on the side of caution. I don't know entirely sure if I don't know entirely, but I know that there are a lot of chemical differences in the plant from early stages to later stages, so it is entirely possible that there are only trace amounts of whatever is toxic later on in the plant that are present whenever it's a shoot. And trace amounts, the dose makes the poison in all cases. So things that we really enjoy, like June berries and stuff like that have almond flavors in them, those are trace amounts of cyanide. And while that's a big scary word and a big scary poison, it is absolutely safe to consume, and your body absolutely processes it without any toxicity within a certain dose.
Sure.
As soon as you cross that realm, it is incredibly harmful and fatal. But you're going to be completely fine up until that literal line. So with, a lot of these plants, there's so much stigma around eating them or any research being done about them that it can be hard for us to know, what is that legal or that lethal dose in these plants that we don't know about. So always err on the side of caution. And when things are commonly eaten in short shoot form, but not really heard of eaten in their mature forms, I would always err towards the safer results. There's people doing citizen science, and there's people on the cutting edge of foraging. And honestly, when you do that, you are putting your life on the line. I don't think that's something that any normal, casual person should be doing, myself included. I'm not going to be at the cutting edge of foraging. I'm here to have a delicious, good time.
Yeah, we're going to be right in the center, just nestled in with our blankies.
Yep. Triple checking everything just like everybody else. So let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll fry up some of these shoots that we got here.
We got one more there.
Oh, we do got one more. You know what? Yeah, I guess we'll come back. I'll talk about that, and while I'm talking about it, we'll cook it.
Okay, BRB. Sigh.
What's wrong, buddy?
Well, I just realized this mushroom supplement I bought isn't actually made with mushrooms. It's made with something called myceliated grain?
Myceliated grain?
Oh, no!
I'm sorry to tell you, buddy, but myceliated grain is a sure sign of a poor quality mushroom supplement.
Well, dang. I wanted mushrooms, not brown rice. What should I do?
Well, you should support a small batch producer from right here in the Midwest. Kiwinaw Apothecary.
Kiwinaw Apothecary? Tell me more.
Kiwinaw Apothecary specializes in high-quality mushroom extracts from Michigan, and they always use real mushrooms, never myceliated grain.
That sounds like exactly what I've been looking for. Where can I order?
Well, you can find them at kiwinawApothecary.etsy.com. That's KEWEENAW apothecary.etsy.com. Be sure to read their many excellent reviews.
Thanks, buddy. I don't want no low-quality mushroom products from a factory. I want Kiwinaw Apothecary.
Wowie wow! Wowie wow! We've got a new hot sauce for you.
It's so delicious.
It's spicy.
It's spicier for sure.
Spicier. It's called Harvest Moon, made with ghost peppers, American persimmons,
and spice bush berry.
It's gonna be great. We also have t-shirts available. Brand new t-shirts.
The best t-shirts, I think.
Baseball tees.
Scrumpers United.
If you've collected apples, if you've collected fruit, you're
welcome to the club.
You're welcome to a club. You're a scrumper. So check out our merch store, wildedibleworldpod.myshopify.com. Wowie wow! All right, we're back. We're gonna fry some stuff up. Got this camping stove that I like to stick in a backpack. Really easy to take out here in the woods with you and collect some fresh vegetables. We will be transparent and say we are going against our most frequent advice, which is to always clean your vegetables. You are the first person touching them. But we're going through a little visual look-see-do over here, and
you got to mention those raspberry shoots.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Sorry. You're right. They look fine. So we got the Sochan leaves that are still curled up. We have the Solomon seal shoots that are still also bundled up in these little sheaths. Really cool looking little vegetable. And then on top of it all, we have several black raspberry shoots. So these are coming straight out of the ground at the base of the plant and are the shoot form of this vegetable. They produce the black raspberry everybody knows and loves later on in the season, but they also produce like this really fresh green maristematic growth out of their stems, out of the base of the plant. And what you want to do whenever you collect these plants is kind of the same thing that we talked about on the milkweed episode. So definitely go back and check that out. But what you want to do is remove any of the lateral leaves, right? So we did like a little test cook before we ran this episode and left all the big leaves on for the black raspberry. And they were a little overcooked. They were crunchy. They were dry. They were a little tough to eat. And it was like, oh, well, duh. Yeah, of course, we probably should have taken those off. Right now, I'm just doing a dry fry. So this is very little oil in there. I had some oil left in there from breakfast from this morning. And so it is very minimal right now. Medium-low heat. You're just trying to tenderize the vegetable and get that bright green color out, or kind of it's actually going to go from bright to a little bit darker, much like how spinach kind of wilts down and darkens. Get some sizzling ASMR in there for you. I hope you guys heard that, and that wasn't just a waste of 5 seconds. So you turn them and you just cook them for a couple minutes. Black raspberry shoots is really cool because they do have this kind of like dark, I don't know, I almost thought like naturally salty flavor. The spines on them, the needles, the thorns are like so soft, right?
Yeah.
You didn't even feel them.
No, definitely zero.
And if anything, they kind of like char up. You have these little speckles of like, and it almost makes it that kind of salty flavor because it's like bitter, charred hairs.
Even the leaves when we left them on before, like the one that had been sitting in the pan for a bit and got a nice char, it almost reminded me of like when you fry a Brussels sprout and that outer leaf gets that texture to it, you know, like that crunch.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
or frying kale leaves and stuff like that.
Yeah. That Solomon seal's coloring up really nicely.
Oh, and it is completely changed color. So it had almost like a pale pink on the outer sheath. The entire vegetable has turned like a green bean green.
Yeah, very, very green.
So it's kind of fun. This is my first time cooking it. The outer sheath is almost completely fallen off, so I'm just going to take that off.
Yeah, shout out to Nick.
Nick of North.
Yeah, Nick of North. That
constantly eating these.
Yeah.
Man, that is beautiful. I'm going to take a picture of this real quick. That is beautiful. Beautiful assortment of little colors there. With the Sochan nice and dark, you got the black raspberry that is just kind of maintaining this almost brown color. And then the Solomon seal, just absolutely beautiful.
That smells really good.
I can't believe how good that looks.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is inspiring you guys to go out and try some woodland vegetables. You know, one of my favorite foragers, Monica Wild, doing the Wild Biome Project out in, Scotland, I think. She likes to call it forest food.
Yeah.
If you're looking to try forest food for the first time. And I was like, you know what? That is such a fun way to talk about it. Forest food. I like the alliteration. Foraging can sometimes have this like scary connotation to it that like there's a lot to learn or whatever. Forest food is so clear, to the point. It's friendly. I don't know. I think I'm going to start using that a little bit more.
It's cute.
Yeah. All right, we got a little bit of smoke happening from the oil here. I think we're probably going to be done here. Just want to make sure we get this Solomon sealed absolutely finished.
Your staff.
Oh, we got the cooking stick. The stick of adept cooking +5. I think that's good.
Yeah, I think so too. That Solomon seal
seal's looking
really opened
perfect. Sochan looks a little far gone.
Yeah, it's all right.
So, what do you want to try first?
Solomon seal.
All right, let's do the Solomon seal first. Here, you pick the one you want. Ooh, going in there, bear pawed.
Right. Ooh, doggy.
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty
Feels
pumped.
succulent.
Pretty pumped about this. Yeah, it really does. Feels really nice.
So this was just a dry fry for about 3 to 5 minutes.
Dude, smell that thing. Holy heck.
Nice.
Okay,
Smells almost like a tortilla. Cheers.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Yes.
Very asparagus.
Yeah, very asparagus. Almost got that. It's like bridging that gap between asparagus and milkweed.
Yeah.
Where it's almost buttery.
It
Buttery
really is.
asparagus. Wow.
Whoa. Wait till you get that next bite, dude.
Yeah, and then it's like green bean, and a
Yeah.
little bitter. And the leaves are bitter. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's good. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Definitely a little bitter, but,
Yeah.
I mean, we're just dry frying.
Yeah, this was
no
quick.
seasoning.
Probably need a little bit longer, I'm not going to lie. Probably could have used just a touch longer and a little bit more fat to help ease and soften the cooking.
That's exactly where I was going. A little salt to like tamper down that bitterness, and then thank you, sir. And then a little bit of fat to just brighten things up a little bit.
So next we'll do the black raspberry. We're going to start from the bottom stem and work toward the leaves. Totally different flavor. Darker, almost meaty.
Mm. Yeah,
I really like how these taste.
Yeah, me too.
Again, so you can hear the leaves, even with the uncurled stuff, is still a little dry.
Yeah.
So I worked my way to the leaves. I'm kind of passing on the leaves. But the whole stem growth, which was about half the thickness of or maybe a quarter of the thickness of my pinky. So we're not talking an exactly super substantial vegetable,
Sure.
but we are kind of in slim pickings right here. We're just working within this like
Exactly.
literal 10-foot diameter in which we're recording. If we spent, at least another hour or something, we could absolutely find a way better
Anybody
vegetable.
that has a good like black raspberry spot is probably like drowning in these things right now.
Well, and that's just what's coming out of the ground. Again, these will produce lots of interesting growth out of the canes themselves. Out of the canes themselves.
Oh, no.
Sorry about that. Got possessed for a second. Let's nibble on some sochan. This is not the best selection of sochan, I'm not gonna lie.
But damn, that's good.
But you can get that celery adjacent wonderful flavor to it. I don't know. This is just awesome.
It's so
Absolutely one of my
flavorful,
favorites.
man.
This is one of the ones where it's definitely like, yeah, it could use a little bit more. Always needs more fat, and some salt really puts this on like 3 levels up. Salt always levels something up, but it really takes sochan to a whole nother planet.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. I guess I'll take. Do you want this last one?
Have at it, dude.
You want? I'll take it. Nice. So it's that easy to kind of try new things from the forest. Yeah. I don't know. Hope you enjoyed this tasting ASMR video. What do you think was the best out of all those?
Also, do you have any other shoots that you think we should try?
Yeah. Let us know in the comments if there's anything you think we should try that we didn't mention on this episode. Obviously, this is just kind of like a short listicle type episode. There's tons of stuff out there that you can harvest, so let us know your favorites, and we'll do an episode about them. Yeah, let us know in the comments. Sound off. Steve, what did you think was the best out of that assortment there?
Oh, the Solomon seal.
Yeah, what a fun
I
new
really
experience.
think that, like you just said, a little bit of salt, some fat, and that's asparagus, green bean, love child.
Yeah, if anything, I'd steam the heck out of that. I'd steam that for 5 minutes and call it good.
Yeah, for sure.
Or boiled for just like a couple, and then, yeah.
Now I want to go back and see what Nick did to it, right? Because he's a genius.
Yeah, he's always done tons of stuff, too. I think he's grilled them. It's always a variety of different things. But yeah, he's a genius. We were referencing at Nick of North. He's a chef out in Canada.
Yeah, PEI.
Yeah, Prince Edward. Cool. Well, that was a fun little cooking episode. We had a blast. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to it.
Yeah, great hanging out.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll talk to you guys soon. Let us know if you guys have any suggestions or if you want to be on the show, reach out. We love meeting new people. We love making friends and talking to other foragers across the country, or across the world if you're willing to make the time work. So, reach out. Say hey. Blow us a little kiss.
Okay, miss you. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.